Well, we've got to snuff out crime. Everybody is going to be treated like a criminal, which is exactly what's happening with this whole pandemic. Oh, in order to snuff out this virus, everybody has to be treated like they're a potential, inoculant. There's another side to this story here, and it's a valid point. And in order to have a free system, some people are going to have to contract this virus in order that innocent people aren't unjustly treated as sick people. And so in a system based on liberty, in order to not have innocent people be unjustly imprisoned, some guilty people are going to get away.
Yeah, I know.
Hello, welcome to Frank and Angie's channel, where we discuss the retire early lifestyle, whether it's at home or abroad. And I hope we can encourage you today to embrace the retire early lifestyle as soon as possible, whether it's at home or abroad. Thanks for coming to our channel. Apparently somebody's bringing a monopoly lawsuit against the big social medias, the YouTubes and the Facebooks and stuff. But when I heard this, and we want to talk about this in this video, because our channel we get penalized a lot, and we used to be really direct with some of our information. What's the first thing dictatorships do when they take over? Well, they muzzle free speech. When I heard that there was an anti-monopoly lawsuit coming on, it reminds me of the anti-monopoly lawsuit at the turn of the previous century against the big oil companies. And that's something I was studying a few decades ago. But in that case, it was the government that was coming against these big, huge companies for monopolistic behavior. And what it means is that they take a position where they basically encroach on the ability of other players to come in, and therefore they curtail freedom to the end consumer. That means, in today's scenario, that means that the big media and even the news, but in this case it's the big social media, have such monopolistic coverage that they can actually censor and control what you and I can see and hear. Now, I don't know how that sits with you, but again, I'm a guy that has, we've lived the retire early lifestyle. We are actually walk the talk, okay? This is not just stuff we say to make videos. We've been doing this practically all our lives since our mid-20s. And indirectly what that does is it gives you the free time to do a lot of reading and studying, which is something I love to do, and therefore I've been doing for decades. And I'm telling you this to say that if you haven't studied dictatorships, what's the first thing dictatorships do when they take over? Well, they muzzle free speech. That's the first thing they do. Think about it, right? I mean, if you haven't been following this kind of stuff around the world, I urge you to take notice of it, because the very first thing that goes is free speech and dictatorships. The next thing is the right to peaceably assemble. Interestingly enough, these rights are some of the first things outlined in the Constitution of the United States, because the founders came from places like that, and they knew. But nowadays you've got these young people that they haven't been taught that in school, and neither have they been taught from their parents. And so they have no clue, and they think that the way to go is communism and dictatorship. I'm just saying that you've got this young person element that is in ignorance. But you know, at least they're somewhat of a minority, but they're willing to engage in violence. They think it's going to get them something, but all it's going to get them is they're just.
Yeah.
I've said in other videos that, listen, we're all going to get enslaved.
Frank, you are so right.
You're not just going to enslave the people you think you hate. You're all going to get enslaved, because when the Russian communist dictatorship came in, they even got rid of rich people. They even got rid of educated people. They got rid of people within their own government. But that's where it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor. Rich and poor. Don't think you're immune because you're rich. Don't think you're immune because you're in high society. I'm a professor, or I'm a scientist. And you know, you think
I'm a celebrity in Hollywood.
You're not going to get enslaved. Oh no, rich and poor, free and bond. I'm a traveler. I travel the world. I'm free. Have you paid any attention? You know, our free travel is being encroached on. We talked about this in the previous video. But anyway, I just wanted to say, stay on point, that the monopolistic behavior of these social media finally, and I've been talking about this within the family for, I don't know,
years.
For a couple of years. And finally somebody's coming out and saying, you know what, this is monopolistic behavior. We can go after them for this. This has happened in the past in history with the big oil, but at that time it was government. And it is suspiciously and notably absent this time around the fact that the government is not the plaintiff. It's a private law firm. It's the government that went after the oil companies because they were doing wrong. But the way things are this day and age, this moment in time, where are the people in government that should be the plaintiff coming after these big companies that are clearly engaging in dictatorship? You know, I mean, it's a pretty simple concept, and I hope that you can see through it, and I hope I've helped you to see through it. But some of these countries that engage in the total muzzling of free speech by completely blocking social media, places like China, of course there's always a justification because of criminality or violence. That's understandable, okay? But again, a free system is a system where there is a jurisprudence, a section of law that says that in order to have an actual free system where liberty prevails, right? Because the Roman Empire did get rid of crime, they did get rid of tax evasion, they did get rid of all these things, but they also snuffed out freedom, okay? But in order to have a system based on liberty, the concept would be that it is better that 10 guilty men go free than one innocent person be unjustly imprisoned. Otherwise, you could just come in and say, well, we've got to snuff out crime. Everybody is going to be treated like a criminal, which is exactly what's happening with this whole pandemic. Oh, in order to snuff out this virus, everybody has to be treated like they're a potential, inoculant. Well, it's the same concept. I'm making an analogy here. I'm telling you, no, there's another side to this story here, and it's a valid point. And in order to have a free system, some people are going to have to contract this virus in order that innocent people aren't unjustly treated as sick people. And so in a system based on liberty, in order to not have innocent people be unjustly imprisoned, some guilty people are going to get away. And so, but what is it that dictatorships do? They always come down hard, real hard on everyone. And they say, well, we have to muzzle free speech because of these criminals. Okay, we have to lock down everybody to save the people. You know, to save your grandma, we have to lock down everybody, even people that are healthy and aren't causing any harm. Okay, so those are a couple of really deep concepts that most people don't give a lot of thought to. I hope I've encouraged you to give some thought to these really important issues that are clearly super relevant to our life today and how it affects our ability to live the retire early lifestyle at home or abroad. Whatever suits you best. Thanks for coming to our channel, and I'll see you in the comments. Goodbye. So those are really deep concepts that most people don't give a lot of thought to. All right, so those are really deep concepts that most people...
Speak up, hon.
Monopoly lawsuit.
Too loud, honey. The camera's getting really wet. That was a girl on that last motorcycle.
Well, they're gonna get soaked.